Welcome to my camera. I'm Sulhi Azman. Join with me together is Nadia, Hassan, and today we are going to talk about companies in the news. We have the fifth largest banking group in ASEAN, CIMB Bank.
Yeah, exactly.
As the joke goes, China, India, Melayu Bank.
One that actually its Chairman Tan Sri Nazir Razak does tend to make if you actually listen to some of his talks. But yes, the share. This of course came out after market close, so we didn't see much impact on share price. In fact, share price was fairly flat. 0.88%. Up at 4 ringgit and 60, right down the middle, if you're interested in that kind of thing. So yes, we looked at their third quarter earnings, and actually, to be very, very honest, considering that we've been following all the other banks, whether it's Hong Leong or AMMB or RHB, these guys didn't do too bad. Up top line was up 8.5%, but bottom line was about 9.7% down.
And you know, I mean, speaking of this CIMB Bank, they have presence in all over ASEAN. So of course, some of they are impacted by certain provisions in asset qualities, compression margins in Indonesia and also Thailand. But then again, I think they are still doing quite steadily.
Yeah, exactly. So gross impairment ratio, if you want to, let's rattle off some stats for that. They rose to 3.4% in September from 3.3% last year. Allowance coverage is about 84.9%. What this means is, I think they're just sort of like holding themselves steady. And let's not forget, they're also some of those who gave the sort of handshake to some of the staff. They are also looking to minimize their OPEX. You know, net interest margins, which is a very big thing that a lot of people look, especially as I think tomorrow you'll see a lot of reports again, lower, 2.65%, driven mainly by higher cost of consumer deposits in Malaysia. So things like loan to deposit ratio and all gross impaired loan ratio, it seemed to be fairly in a holding pattern, yes.
Yeah, okay. On the outlook, right, Tengku Zafrul, the CEO, was saying that 2015 is going to be a challenging year for the financial services industry.
To say the least.
To say the least, correct. And it goes on to say that the Malaysian operation shows encouraging performance in difficult conditions, but we continue to be cognizant of moderating economic growth and slowdown in consumer spending, basically.
So what does that translate into?
That translates into the fact that they are actually operating, are also doing something, trading through the rough waters, basically.
Well, yeah, exactly. So the fact is, they are, if they want to be fancy about it, they know that consumer spending is low. I think a lot of people, they're doing a lot to try and get people sort of like back to the banks, and it's still going to be tough. If this is not a trend that we are surprised in, what would have been surprised is if they had topped like 10%, but I think it's very, very highly unlikely. The big things are CIMB, of course, Niaga, and that one continues to grow. And I think their Thailand operations also holding steady. If I could put a gigantic heading on top of this, probably holding steady.
Right, but then again, I think there's another challenge for the bank. You said the CIMB Bank CEO, right, Datuk Sulaiman Tahir, has gone on and joined AMB Bank, which means that the position is now vacant for CIMB Bank.
So let's apply when the show is over. Let's see whether that really works. What are your takeaways from all of this, actually?
Okay, takeaway today CIMB announced their third quarter earnings, where revenue went up by 8.5%, while net profit was down by 9.7%. And moving on to our brokers call today, courtesy of CIMB Research and Afin Huang Capital, we have Puncak Niaga Holdings Bhd, close unchanged at 2.85 ringgit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's trading sideways. Let's be very honest with that. Just to give an overview of what everybody thinks about it, CIMB, they downgraded it to a hold. Target price is 298, which is what, in the spitting distance of what it is now. Afin Huang, they also are maintaining hold, but they also put out a target price of 290. So yeah, they announced their results yesterday, everything down. You're talking about top line 76.1% down. But are we surprised? Because the fact is, the whole water asset thing happened this year. You were going to expect this from Puncak.
Yeah, definitely. They actually disposed the water assets to state government for 1.6 billion ringgit, and they literally have no bigger assets or no bigger play to be done with. But then, the company remains a cash rich at 451 million ringgit in their coffers, and I think the CIMB says that the completion of Puncak water asset sale is going to be a longer transition period before the new ventures kick off, which means that they are looking for new businesses to go and venture into.
Exactly. I think at one point they wanted to do oil and gas. At one point they wanted to
plantations,
plantations, power. It's a bit like they were throwing stuff around, and let's see what we can do with our 451 million cash pile. You're hoping it's not like the Queen song where they basically much go, another one bites the dust. We are hoping that does not happen. But yeah, so CIMB, like you said, downgrade from ADD, and they said that they roll over their valuations. The target price dips because they raised their discount on SOP. Analysts are really, really smart, and they're just using all this to say, look, we value it down because we think the outlook is a little bit cloudy. It is still early for the group. The group has indicated too early for an M&A. They are still looking, but if you want to buy good assets, now is the best time because everything is depressed.
And everything seems to be cheap as well. Valuation seems to be a bit more cheaper, I suppose. And
all of us are depressed.
I think Huang Capital maintains the whole rating, and they say that they do not ascribe any valuation to the oil and gas business because which continue to make losses amid challenging outlook, because the oil price has plunged down by severely by 40% or so throughout the year, and of course this will not bode well for them. But the management, according to Afing Huang, is hopeful of more transmission and installation job for its pipe laying barge, which is in the oil and gas segment as well.
Yeah, so while CIMB has big gold letters on top going hold steady, these guys have big gold letters on the top going looking for something. I think the analysts will continue to feel this way because you can only be a cash-rich company for so long before you have to do something with the money. You can't sit there unless... My dream with 450 million is you throw into a bathtub and start swimming in it. I don't think you can do that for Puncak. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised at the valuations. I do think it's going to be tough for them.
It is going to be tough for them because key upside risks includes the positive earnings and dividend surprises, as you say, because once they sell the water assets, they close the deal early this year, they have been distributing dividends to the shareholders basically. But the downside risks include the lower oil and gas profitability due to capex from Petronas and earnings dilutive from the M&A.
So what do you take away from it mainly?
Well, the takeaway from this is that analysts are actually, yesterday, in fact, Puncak Niaga announced the third quarter result, but everything was down, and CIMB today make a very big headline downgrading the stocks to hold, while Afing Huang Capital maintain the target price hold at RM2.90 of target price. That's all we have today, folks. I'm Sulhi Azman, joined with me together by Nadia Hassan. If you want more, go to our website at www.thehmarkets.com or get a copy of our The Edge Financial Daily, which will be available tomorrow. Good night and good luck.